you for Afro Economics. Yes, I'm telling if you turn the music up, you move faster. I know y'all want to go to sleep, but not right now. We got to pay some debts off. Got to get all the debts paid off. Hey, you don't even have to pay them off. You just got to have enough money to pay them off if you wanted to. How about that? All right. Ms. Davis, remember to ask me about that. I'm going to infringe some rights. Come on. One more time, baby. Let me know. Look at that. That's so cute. I didn't know that. Look at that from Facebook. They said that came into the stream over there as a chat. Oh. Oh, there's Jenny. Look at that. That's so cute. It's the first time I saw it. I wrote that. Yeah, I was talking in a workshop this weekend in Maryland at World Missions Ministries. The pastor is Dr. Anthony Turkson. And I tell you, they are doing fantastic things there. It's amazing. Amazing, y'all. You missed it. We got Jenny Jones.
Hello, darling.
What you doing? What you got on, Jenny?
I have on a top that's off the shoulders. Look at me.
Oh. It doesn't do you justice right there. I gotta get you to sit down so you can pull your shoulders out. That's right. I was like, look at her. What you think? What you think, Miss Davis? You know.
Hi, Jenny.
Jenny, when is the last time you saw Kirkland Dorsey? It has been forever.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Look at him. Look at him.
I'm trying to get the camera turned around in front of a mirror. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Last time we saw you, you and your wife were laying in the bed.
No, on the couch.
Right now, you done sold the house. They're building a house, Jenny. You wait till we get to the new house, Jenny. We're gonna have a party.
Hey, how'd I turn this camera around?
It's perfect. Yeah, you have it right.
No, that's the.
Oh, that's the mirror.
Yeah.
Oh, and then see, you should come in here every week so that you will know how to work the camera. But you know what? True. You have to like hit the I think that little circle in the options in front of you, and then hit that one that doesn't look like it's turning the camera, but like it might loop or nah, I don't know. Oh, that's why your voice sounds so far away. Because it's over there. Wow.
I'm signing out. I'll be right back.
Okay. Great. Yeah. Ask look, here's ask the professor.
Who is he, JB?
Kirkland. The I don't know if I should give his full government name, but that's Kirkland. Yeah, he is our first member of the year. You know?
Okay.
What was that, like 2017 or something like that? Yeah. There he is. He's in Virginia.
Yeah.
He is in Virginia. Or at least we can hear you better.
You can hear me better?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry about that. How's everybody doing? I miss y'all. I'm glad
we miss you the most. We still can't hear you. I mean, can't see you, but we can hear you.
Yeah,
glad. I'm so glad.
I don't know what's going on with this thing, but hey, I see you though. You still looking good.
Oh, that's so positive. Thank you. You
got a big chop going on.
You know, I know the big chop. My haircut. Yeah. I know. Look, I got some of the fro showing behind me. My little fro, and look, I don't even miss it. I don't even miss it.
You got a little TWA.
I thought, oh yeah, that must be what it is. I thought for sure. I said, I thought I was so addicted to my hair, like Weta is now. And then I started running track. You know, I run track now, man.
So proud of you, Jay.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're my inspiration. You know that, don't you? I get up every morning and work out.
That's right. And you are doing it. And you are doing it. And then Weta says she's gonna start running again.
Well, I'm not running. I'm just going to the gym. I'm not gonna run. I know my location.
We're running for our life, Angela Reagan. And we're gonna get Angela running. Angela gonna be running. Everybody gonna be running.
Jay, tell
everybody.
them we girls on fire.
We are girls on fire. That was so great what you said. You know, and we are having our summer health challenge. And we do have until the end of the month. So we do need to get those numbers in there. And people have been ignoring them, like Mr. Kirkland. And, you know, you have no right to be ignoring a summer health challenge.
Oh no! I'm on it, man. I had some health challenges myself recently, and I had to go to the ER twice in 2 days, fight for my life.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And when they had me on the table, I you know how it is. You always pray to God when you're in need, right?
Yep, exactly. But that's okay. He don't care. He said the last shall be first. So he don't care. He'll take them all.
When I had to get 2 IVs in 2 days, fighting for my life, and I told God, I said, if you get me out of this, I'm gonna do better. I stopped drinking. No sodas.
I love it.
No chocolate. No cheese.
See, you gotta hang with me because I don't need none of that either. But drinking none of that. You know, God brought you back to me.
Oh my God!
Brought you back to Mama.
I thought I was tough, but when you fight for your life and you in that AR crying, I said, God, if you get me out of this, I'm gonna do better.
Look, that's why. Look. That's what I say every time I'm married. Oh my goodness, it's funny though, but it's true. I be like, Lord, I'll never take my freedom for granted again, Lord. Oh, I'm sorry, Lord, dear Lord, help me, Lord. And you know. Yeah. And you learn, but you learn whatever it is you got to go through. See, because God bless you with a beautiful, sweet wife. You know, so everybody got their own challenge. Everybody got their challenge.
She ain't no none.
You just right. So you just be having a good time because you so happily, you know. So now God said, well, I'm gonna have to take him to the hospital and get him into that back to JB, and he knows his big sis will take care of him.
Hey JB, I was in there. I thought I was tough. When you think you're gonna die.
Oh my goodness, I know, right? I remember like when I had a motorcycle accident, and I remember being in the air and talking to God like, "How's this gonna feel when I land, Lord? How's this gonna feel?" And it made me realize like the people have like those near the end of life experiences, like, and you wonder, like, what do they think about? And all I was thinking about was like, oh my goodness, I hope I can pick my daughter up. Like, you know what I mean? This can't be that hard. Like, I gotta be ready for when, because she was away for the weekend, and I'm out there riding by myself in midnight.
Oh man,
it was something else. Yeah, Lord, he lost that. Oh, Mr. Jones. You know how I do. One man out, another man in. I'm just joking. No, I'm just joking. Oh,
Jenny.
Oh my goodness.
JB, you're talking a lot of trash tonight.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of it.
You sure you hadn't had a drink?
Everybody.
Diversification, but that was right on time though. You can't like you went, Kirkland, you went like zoop. And Mr. Joseph's like, whoop.
Can you hush for a minute? I'm mad at Jones. He left without saying goodbye to me at that last event.
He went out of the country.
Mr. Jones, I listen, you didn't say goodbye to me, and my feelings are hurt.
Wow.
No, this is like you really. This is the notice that I got. A picture in front of the pyramid. I'm like, oh man, King's Dominion looks different every day. And he's like, no, I'm in Egypt. I'm like, what in the world? The Metro don't go to Egypt. It's like we got on an airplane and everything. So you know, Jenny, I was remiss too. Reverend Bozeman, we would have prayed over you. And both Reverend Bozeman, you have to meet Kirkland and Mr. Jones. You have to meet Kirkland because Kirkland was the first member of the year that we ever had, and he'll always jokes about how he found my video, and so it involves looking for a gun.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And Mr. Johnson has to meet Kirkland. You got a
Excuse
lot of friends waiting, Kirkland.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was trying to buy a shotgun and your video popped up.
Oh wow.
I was like, that makes sense. What were you? Yeah. What were you?
I did get that shotgun though.
You did?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yep. And I did get that account. And I had a workshop that day, and I said, I know this man is going to be a good customer because he was the only one that paid to be there. It was like $100. I was like, this is a good customer. I was like, I'm going to charge. I never charge. I'm going to charge this week. So then that's the time that Kirkland happens to be coming. I know he said all the other ones she does is free. Ain't that some shit?
Well, you said, JB, when people got skin in the game, they take it a little bit more serious.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Right. Good for you. Right. I don't look, but you believe that. So I try to believe it with you, but I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know with us. Our people are like, look, I ain't paying for you. They'll pay for somebody else, but you pay for somebody to look like you, and that's a blessing. Yeah. I'm telling you, just admire that, right? Exactly.
I was talking about you a couple of days ago about
that's positive.
You had a workshop at your office, and there was a guy who owned some buildings, and he was saying how he would let people slide with the rent. Yeah, and you would tell them that doesn't help Black people. You're not helping them; you're hurting them.
It's so true. That's so true. That? You remember that one? Yeah, he was, and and he was talking about how bad it is dealing with us, and I was like, it's not bad dealing with us as long as you deal with the right ones of us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because when you are letting somebody like that stay there, there's someone who really needs housing they should be evicted. They should be evicted. You don't give up on us, like, because a client said today, Black people. I said, don't say that because we're Black. And she said, you right. You right. I said, just some of us, like all other people, act up. And those who don't appreciate the opportunity, they need to be moved out of the way. It's so true. Yes. That's funny you remember that. And he was like, but no, I think that we have to. I said, no, because you can't build muscle without making that sacrifice. And the reason that we don't have, in my opinion, the amount of entrepreneurship that we should have is, how you doing, Mr. Jenkins, is because we haven't been really told what entrepreneurship requires. No, like we don't know that entrepreneurship, like we're accustomed to having a paycheck. That's, where we've been socialized, have the paycheck. So we'll go out there and you say, I want to start my own business, and you don't get a paycheck anymore. And in exchange for that, they don't think they should pay their employees. They just, you know what I'm saying? They want to make sure that they get taken care of, but you still want that person to work for you. That's just like moving in somebody's property and not paying your rent.
Exactly.
We have to like muscle up, and if you don't want to pay the rent, I'm going to give you some mercy, some grace, because the court system is designed that way, and we go into court. And because I know me, that's why I've never done rental. Yeah. I remember I had a commercial property, and they were like, why don't you just cut it up and make it into little office spaces and so and such? I said, because I will let them stay. Yeah. I know me. Yeah. You got to know it. Just like with debt and credit and all of your financial decisions, you got to know yourself. You got to know yourself. Are you the type of person that is going to be stressed out over $1 million loan for a house? Just because you want that, but can you handle the pressure that comes along with that type of debt? So I think that the key thing here, key point is that personal finance is personal. So some people try to keep up with Kirkland and his wife, and they can't keep up. So you can't do what they do. No, I've seen people, always, unfortunately, too many people have a fear of missing out or compare themselves to other people. And when they start comparing, then you start accumulating many people. Like a teacher has a particular decision that she's made. That's a life choice to be a teacher. It's not punishment. And the way it's presented to the world is teachers don't get paid enough. Well, it's based on supply and demand, and that's what teachers get paid. If you don't like what teachers get paid, you should do something else. That's an easy solution, correct?
Correctamundo.
And if you stay within that teacher's salary, you'll never have a problem. But when a teacher tries to do something that a brain surgeon can afford to do, or anyone in between, someone that's paid a lot more, because I know a lot of you make more than a doctor makes now. So we can't really say that. So when I'm talking about people going to be a doctor, they really need to decide, is it worth going into that much debt?
Yeah, it's a lot of debt too.
A lot of debt. How many years will it take for you to get out of debt? And you say, well, that school loan is a good investment. It's, a school loan. And it's true. But you can't get out of med school and be mad because you have $1,000 a month to pay back. No, it's really not fair to yourself. So I think that a lot of debt management is in the mind. It's behavioral. And you see a lot of movement now going into PhD work on behavioral finance. They're going to be, really more and more people studying, like, why exactly do you do things that you know that you can't afford? No, because it's pretty easy. Like, as far as like entrepreneurship, it requires the greatest amount of, I left that telephone on my music. That's my music machine. But I always want to see who doesn't know what I do Wednesdays at 8:00 for the last 100,000 years. Exactly. Like, how do you not know that? Now, that's okay for this lady, because this lady is not on social media at all, and she's in her 80s, almost 90. She can call me anytime she wants. But for the rest of y'all, you better know, Wednesday night at 8:00, I'm right here. Don't ring it. And anybody that has a specific question, I'm going to put in here, is 1-844-JB Bryan. Just call, and then it should have ones, and that's one, because I don't want to just talk about like my stories that I have from work. And I want those of you who are in 522-7926 stands for 1-844-JB Bryan. And now, that's the wrong inbox. That's why. How do I get it over there? I think I'm going to put it over here and see if this works. Y'all know my number. Y'all better not call me. That's the inbox for y'all. Everybody that's in the and then also Queen Howard has a grandbaby, but the baby is in pit. What do you call it? PICU. It's still in the hospital. The baby's still in the hospital. So let's pray. We're praying for you, Queen Howard. and his name is JJ. Put his name up, Queen Howard. His full name, but I know it was JJ because he's a junior. Her son's first and only child, and her only grandchild, and that's sweet. And JJ is gonna be big and healthy, and he's gonna come home soon. How you doing, Ashley Cheesy? So let's think about behavioral health. Like a lot of our behavior comes from what? A lot of our behavior comes from what?
Is it social? Is that right?
Social.
Is it learned or social?
And then, yeah, like kind of like what you saw growing up. Okay, say that, our money habits can be inherited. Have you found, a lot of us have had to change those. But I remember at first, like I did imitate my family's behavior a lot because everybody in my family always had a job. So I just started buying things, financing things, financing. Jamel Howard Jr., JJ, that's right. And does he have a Cash App? We could, if your son has a Cash App, let us know and we'll put it out. And because your son is probably going to lose some days at work, making sure that they're at the hospital to check on him. So there might be some of our members and friends that want to send something to Jamel Sr. and Jr. Let them know. And put Afroeconomics in there so they know we love them. So yeah, that is learned behavior, just like our eating habits. Where we learn, the other night I called my mom and I said, "What you have for dinner?" And she immediately thought I was judging her. That must be real hard. But I was really just making small talk. But I could tell she was like, "This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted." I was like, "Oh man, I got her scared." So my mom scared to tell me what she ate. I was just like, and she was like, "I wanted a ham hock." I said, "All right, go ahead." And I thought it was kind of a good idea because, she didn't want to cook a whole ham. So she said, I asked her sister to pick up a ham hock when she went past the grocery store. I don't even think they sell ham hocks in my neighborhood.
No, they probably don't, Davey.
I know. But I'm just glad I know what it is. And I said, Mom, it's like a little ham. And she said, yeah, it does have some lean meat in there. I said, that's right. But I know what it is because of how I was brought up. But when I got to UVA, they started talking about bagels, and I had no idea what a bagel was.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, but people, they knew what a bagel was because of their upbringing. And then later on, someone asked, a friend of my father's asked, did I know about the stock market? And it was like before I started business school. And I said, like, I've heard about it. But we never talked about that at school. Never. When I got into business in 93, that's when my father got his first stock. And from what we did in 93, a little bit, it was like just a couple thousand. It grew to enough to take care of his entire funeral and some left over. And that was like from being pretty conservative. But my mother said, your dad said, use that money that he put in there. Like, in 93, I had to open up some account. Somebody had to open up an account. See what I said? So, look, you exhaust your family members real quick when you Black. You're going to have to go find some customers somewhere else. But I think there's probably people in the other community who, it takes a long time for them to run out of family members that are into investing. Because what?
Yeah.
Their family was always into investing.
Right.
We learn these things that that we learn these things that I realized that home ownership was important because I always, had a home growing up. But I realize now that it's not the end all be all, or whatever. Like, everybody doesn't have to have a mortgage. Everybody doesn't have to have a home. Some people could just do investment properties. Some people could do an apartment, but a home is very important to Kirkland. Why, Kirkland? They're building their third or fourth home now. Well, why is a home important to you? I don't know if you can hear. Can you hear Kirkland? But I'll get him to tell you anyway. But it's important because of his life experiences. Can you hear me, Kirkland? He can't talk back. But our life experiences, like, make it, give us different value system and make us have to do, he's probably went out to come back in, and make us, really feel. I told y'all about the story one time where this man was saying that when he was a kid, he said, I have to have 5 bathrooms. So, when he got older, he got a house with 5 bathrooms. No, he might not have needed all those bathrooms. What's up with that? How you doing, Miss Karen King? But I feel like, that Kirkland, I was saying that your experiences might have made, like, home ownership very important to you, and you might have always wanted to build your own home. What you think?
Yeah. Well, I know for me, I grew up in Section 8 housing, other people's houses. And I just wanted my piece of the pie. I like having my space, my privacy, and plus it helped me build wealth. This is my third home. And each home I was able to get something a little nicer in a better neighborhood, each time.
That's so good. That's so good. And that's a blessing. Like, what my fantasy was, or still is, of living, is a little apartment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even making it up. Like, I like really close places. Like, I'm in this home because my daughter, like, really loves it. I can't wait because I want to give her money when she's ready to get her own house. You know what I'm saying? And then she can do that if she still is in that mood. But for me, I would love to be somewhere where, like, I walk out, somebody's right there in my face. How you doing? How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I just love that. I don't care if the kids are running upstairs over my head. I don't, because I like that feel.
Well, you'll love where I'm at then.
Well, okay, Jay. Then
why he's building? Why they got an apartment? Why he's building his house? Huh?
We can trade, because I would love to have your house with that patio, with that rooftop patio, and have my cute little apartment, because that's real cute, isn't it?
Zero time do I spend up there.
I know.
Zero.
I know.
I have 3, 4 balconies. 0 time on those. 0 time on the roof. 0 time. I mean, in a perfect world, I was like, yesterday, I went to CarMax to sell my Jeep. I was like, if I sell my Jeep, I will walk more. I mean, I'm that, like, I'm on the, what do they call it? The fringe. Like, and that's how I came up with this topic. But I don't even owe anything on the Jeep. So, I mean, that Jeep has been paid for 100 years. So it's 10 years. It's a 2011. So I go in there and they make me wait, because online they told me, oh, that's $7,200. I said, that's $7,200 I could have in my pocket. And I got that motorcycle down there I don't drive. Z got a car. I don't need to. This is a waste. So I'm like, I'm going to get rid of this. And they're, because There are so many videos on there about life without a car. And I was like, I could do it. But my major thing is I want to walk more. I want to move more. And as long as I felt like, well, anyway, so then they told me $7,200, bring the quote in. So I come in, and then while they're doing all that appraisal, I'm looking online and they said 2011 Jeep Wrangler Sport is worth, guess how much?
12,500.
More than that.
3,200.
More, nope.
That's less, man.
$17,000.
Oh, they're trying to rape you.
That came back to me. They came back to me with $5,000 offer. I said, no, thank you, and walked out. I was like, oh my God. But as I was driving away, I said, do you know how many people have to do that? Have to take that offer? They were about to make, I started to go in on it. Like, do you know your return on your investment if I had done this? If I had done this? I said, that thing will sit there in my garage and grow. And look, if I don't, it said that the lifespan is like 300,000 miles on a Wrangler. 300,000. I only got 140,000. I said it will sit there and not move it. And it's worth more next year. I had a Benz 10 years old and it was only worth 1,500. I'm telling you, we are tripping. We're missing the boat. These luxury cars, they said the one, now, no disrespect to you, too, Jenny, but it said the car that depreciates the fastest was like a 735 BMW.
Well, I'm not trying to sell my BMW.
Right?
It looks real good to me.
Right? They're best, I'm telling you. But what happens is, because y'all know I just got mine out the shop. So I just put $3,000 in it. So I was like, basically, all they'd be paying me is $2,000 because I just put $3,000 in it. You know, so, and that was by choice. I was fixing like unnecessary stuff. Like I was just doing anything. And then I said, no. I was like, you gotta, like, that's what starts adding up is the service. And that's what did it on my last Benz was the service. But what is so bad is that some people are still making payments.
No.
I'm walking around, I'm walking off. Like anything I make is, I'm making a return. I've overused it. I've got all my use out. I only bought it for $25,000. They telling me, right? So they telling me that I can get anywhere from 17 on a manual, a stick shift, 17 to 22,000 on 140,000 miles because of supply and demand. We tripping, but when you have debt, people have to do stuff like that. It was an option by the grace of God for me. But when you have a payment, it's a whole different world. You feel me on that, Angela? Like, there's some people have a payment. And when they want to go and turn it in, it's not worth, like say I had got that recently. It's cute, red, big tires, everything. Say I paid $10,000 on it last year. Now it's worth what? 5 and 10 was from somebody. I knew I got over because I saw it's worth, 18,000. So I've seen them on the side of the street, people selling them 18,000, older ones than mine. So and then you go the next year, you're still making a payment. You're still making a payment on that 10,000. And it's only worth 5. You see, baby Jamel's, his Cash App is here. Thank you so much, Queen Howard. But this is our new Afro-economics baby that is in PICU. Is that how you all say that? In the how do you say that?
Newborn babies that are born and they're not doing well, it's called the NICU, Newborn Intensive Care Unit. So that's
newborn. Yeah, it's so.
Or neonatal. It's neonatal.
Neonatal. And he's doing great. He's just a little small, that's all. Right? He's gonna do great. And they just put him in there to help it along so it can feel like his mom inside. I remember when like babies first come out, like, and they wrap them, they keep them so wrapped up like that. And then I opened up I didn't know. They didn't say like, don't unwrap her. So I started I want to unwrap. I want to get to my baby. And Aziza started looking at her hands and she started screaming. She had never seen her hands before. I said, oh, she went, it was like, what are these things coming at me? And it was her own hands. It was so cute.
It's called swaddling the newborn because that's what their nervous system is developing. Oh. And if you think about the environment where they're in their womb and they can't move, but they feel good. That's what they're used to. Yeah. So now they're out and it's sort of like, I don't have control of anything and I'm nervous. So swaddling babies for that first 30 days or longer, it makes them feel good. It gives them a sense of back in the womb.
Oh, that's so sweet. That was funny though. She was like, ah! And that was the first time she had cried. And that was like, they had already cleaned her up and everything. She was good. Even when she, came out, I don't remember her crying. But after that, I was like, they turned around. What have you done? That baby doesn't cry. It's something. But yes, please think about Jamel Jr. and in your giving. You can save that for another time too. This will be recorded, so we'll have it here as well. And look, may he grow up to be debt free, even not even have to do a mortgage for a house. JJ is we can give him enough right now. We can invest it. And by the time he buys a house in 25 years, Miss Davis, but if you think of the money that we use on car payments, it's kind of scary. Now, a lot of times people complain about school loans, but really, if we had to choose, say which one is really getting you financially, it's not the school loan, because the school loan, we're hoping if you use it properly, is an investment that it's going to appreciate, right?
Correct.
But the car is promised you that it's going to depreciate. It's going to. So that, if you take all your payments that you've made, especially in our community, because we really haven't been socialized, save up and buy. But I bet, Mr. Dorsey, did you do a payment, your first one, or did you save up and buy?
My first car, it was $2,200. I paid that straight up.
Uh-oh. That's a lot of money. That was a lot of money back then. You knew you were rich. You were in the military.
Well, Uncle Sam was giving me
exactly. That's the only reason you got that beautiful wife, because you have money. It was like, this man got money.
Well, I didn't always look like that. I just be handsome.
Look. Well, you never, ever, I'm sure you never looked as good as her.
No, definitely not.
But I'm sure you had a nice body. Like, you had that, like, Navy body. You were in the Navy or Marines?
I was Navy. I was smart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She said she liked me because I used to wear tight T-shirts.
I love it. I bet he did. You know he did, girl. You know he did. He was busting up in that classroom, and everybody was like, what in the world?
Yeah.
They met when he got out of the military and went to college. That's so cute.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah,
I remember that love story. That's a blessing. We need that. Something positive. Y'all been married now, what? How many years?
September be 26.
That's
and we
so
dated
good.
for 5. I met her when I was 22. She was 21.
So it's over 30. It's over 30 years now.
Yeah, I've been feeding longer than Mama has.
Right?
Yeah, I've been taking
Right?
longer than mama taking care
That's
of me.
right. That's right. That's right. Amen. And that sounds like something my dad would say. And that's something that's so good. I'm glad you had an opportunity to meet my father too.
Oh yeah, he was a good guy, man. I like that guy. He was funny.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, God is good.
Yeah.
That is a blessing. So let me look at some key. I want to share some key points with you. So like the best thing to do is to approach if a person was I want to be debt free, my first question would be to them, why? Why is that important? Because the only reason you're going to stick to that is it has to be a really strong why. And a key reason from a mental health perspective that is that it gives you, freedom. If it's important to a person, they see it as a way to not have to have so much, to worry about, especially if they're overwhelmed. Because I've been there, I've done that, where you just have too much debt to do you any earthly good. It's just not necessary. So then it can become unhealthy. So if the person was like, I hate my job, it's too much stress, I don't want to do this job anymore, and I need to get rid of this debt so that I can quit my job, or they're sick, like that person may be better off doing what? A bankruptcy. Because like I hear that a lot and people will go like, I gotta keep working, but I'm sick. So if you're gonna keep working and you're sick, only thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna get sicker. So we have to like start thinking like, what can you do that's going to make your life, more manageable? Like one of our members the other day, she's in her 70s and she was saying about maintenance on her house. And she was like, I think I might get a second mortgage so that I can make the repairs that are needed on my house.
Oh.
Exactly. And I said, well, that will increase your payment, because she was saying, I would say, have you considered selling the house, and going into like a senior facility where the payment would be fixed or controlled? And she said, but they're talking $1,200 and stuff like, and I said, well, if you have a first and a second, you're going to be looking pretty close to it, if not over that. I was like, so that's something that we really need to talk through, because what? Personal finance is personal. You can't look around and say, well, so-and-so, they still got their house, and so-and-so, they, everybody's situation is different. Somebody has the television on in the background, and we can hear it. But so everybody has to kind of decide. And I think that that's going to be, that's just to say that, have you thought about selling it? Shook her. Because we get so accustomed to how we've always lived, but it's not always applicable throughout your life. Like one lady was saying, if my husband dies, I'm going to sell our house and I'm moving to the city because we live in the country. I can respect that. She's like, I can live out there as long as we're both together, but I'm not going to live out there by myself. So, that's, at least she's thought about that. Now, my thing will be, I hope that she can do it when it gets to that decision. Because saying something and doing something, is a totally different thing. We get accustomed, like, do you know what kind of major move that would have been if I actually really sold my car? I've had a car all my life. 2, 3. There was like a time I had 3 cars at one time, just for me. Like, do you know how much my mind and priorities must have changed? My priority now is my health. I wanted to get rid of the car so that I would walk more. Now that is somebody who really has their health as a priority. But then my investment thing came on, and it was like, but if I sell it, that's not a good investment because I know I just might as well keep it because it's cheaper. Might as well just keep it. Really not probably true, but if I'm gonna because I'm still gonna have to get around. I still got to get to DC. I still got to so and so. So, but when I say I'm not driving up there, I want to get on the train. I'd rather get on the train. Now, when you have a little one, I had to keep my car. That's not even an option. But times of your life change. But I'm going to tell you one thing. If that car was costing me something like a payment, if it was costing me something every month, because even if a repair came up and it broke down, I don't even have to fix it. True? We fix it because we feel like we have to. But I met a brother one time. The car, the BMW, was broken. And he still had payments on it, and he couldn't afford to get it fixed.
Oh, my God.
So it's like ruining his credit. He said they said it's going to cost $6,000 to get it fixed. And he was upside down. He couldn't sell it because they rolled over his last car into that car. Upside down, meaning he owed more on it than the vehicle was worth. A lot of people, a simple car. That also happens to people with their house because we have been socialized now that people don't put anything down. It's a beautiful thing when I see a couple that's putting down a substantial down payment and has saved up for it. And that's what you save for. And the IRS helps you do it too. Because you can sell the other one, make a capital gain, and put it into your new one. At least use that towards your down payment. Because, but everything has to have a strategy, and everything takes a process, and everything takes time. I think that we settle and do too much looking around when we have to make our own decisions for ourselves. When we think more about how is this going to impact someone else, or what is so-and-so, instead of like what your personal financial goals are and how it will help you be able to take care of yourself if you make these changes. I wonder how much credit card debt is on things, purchasing things that like consumer debt. What do you think? I would love to see. There's probably research on it, like what is actually on a credit card. Like I would say a small percentage is actually used for the emergencies that it should be used for, like, getting the car fixed because you need it, or, buying an airplane ticket because somebody in the family passed away and you got to get there, but more like things like, shopping, Amazon, buying things that you already have 6 of and you don't need.
Yeah. They call black people super consumers.
Super consumers. The best.
We buy everything.
We buy too much. We buy, but we don't invest. If you're making a purchase, as Mr. Dorsey said, and it's into even a home, at least it does have the potential for increasing in value over time. So your money that you're spending is not in vain. As I was telling the brother that's going through the process of purchasing, and looking at the deal, and I was like, don't let this mess up your whole experience, because, the whole financing and everything, great credit, regardless, it can become exhausting. and take away from the whole experience. And I said, like, let me just ask one question. Do you really want this? And he said, I really want this for my family. I said, well, then we keep moving forward. That's what we really have to decide. And every time we did, especially debt and financing something, now I use the word want there because the person is in the financial position to really get to, do wants. All of us, you're blessed because you can do on a lot of the things you have because you want it, not because you need it.
Amen.
None of us really need, you know what I'm saying? Need a house or different house or a better house or this and that. You know what I'm saying? We're going into like, just really blessings upon blessings mode.
Yeah. All you need is housing and food. That's all you really need.
Amen. And pray to be on a bus line, right? And you can get to where you gotta go. No, and especially so many people now who don't even go into the office to work. No, but if you could get a bicycle, how much it would impact on the health. I was like, the bicycle is better than me riding on my motorcycle. Motorcycle is only like a little bit more calories than a car. And because I'm on a booster now, it probably is. But I mean, I switched from an automatic car to a manual car because I wanted to burn more calories and move more. It has to like just become, because everything you do, like I would chose a Jeep intentionally because I was like, it's going to be uncomfortable and I'm going to have to get up in this thing. And like the easier it is for me to get out of it and in it is the more in shape I feel. I go, oh yeah, I remember when this used to hurt. Oh, I remember when this was ugly. This was ugly. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till I just hop in it. No, like that's it. And shift it on down. Like just go. Like, but as we age, how many things do we do and spend money on that are just for comfort? And are they really good for us? Or convenience? Like, because, we waste a lot of money on convenience foods when all we have to do is spend a little bit more time. Like, tonight, like my groceries came, but they didn't have my meat in it. And I thought I could call DoorDash and just get a rotisserie chicken and blah, 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 blah. And then I said, what's going to be in it? And I was like, I'll just have to wait. And I ordered again and ordered my chicken, put it in the oven, all of that between 5 and 7 o'clock tonight. I was like, it only takes 40 minutes for it to cook. I remember a time where I was like, I ain't waiting 40 minutes. I'm calling DoorDash. But look at how much, chicken, you can order a rotisserie from DoorDash, end up with $20 in fees, $20, only one little chicken. And me and Z only like the dark meat, so the white meat's going to get thrown away. When I just order my chicken, I can get all dark meat. But we're like, committed almost to not thinking about our money because we think that will mean that, you don't have money. When my richest clients are looking at every dollar, 25 cents, anything. You ain't getting over on them. They're in particular. It's not the fact that I have it. It's the fact that I want to keep it. You talking about somebody who don't ever want to be poor? It's somebody like Mr. Jones and Mr. Dorsey. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to ever be there again. Reverend Bozeman. It's like understood. It's understood. I just included Reverend Bozeman, but I know you grew up in that big house in Chicago, so I don't you just playing along. Just play along.
All right.
With a mom with a beat coat. So we know exactly, but that's okay. You do not want to be poor either way. But
No,
like
you
I
don't.
said, like yeah, like
Have-
that everything is like kind of understood. I think that Reverend Bozeman probably it was like understood that he just always knew he was gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Where
Hey, JB,
uh-huh.
I like to say when I tell people, being poor is very expensive. Because when you're poor, everything costs more.
Speak,
You go buy furniture, it's 25% interest.
speak,
If
speak,
you're not poor, they give you 18 months to pay for it for free.
speak.
So I can't afford to be poor because it's too expensive for me.
It's true though. Or you mess up your credit because you're poor. And then
Yeah.
you got to pay more for your car insurance. You got to pay more
Yep.
for your homeowner's insurance. You got to
You
pay
you
more for the house itself.
you
So
could lose jobs because of your credit.
you can't even get the job now because of your credit. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, and all of that just because you're poor.
Yeah. Utilities, they might need a bigger down payment. So I can't afford to be poor. It's too expensive.
It's,
You can have
it's not fair. Not fair.
it.
And this is
And
what people are born into. People don't choose that what their parents' life choice. We didn't choose to be black that was going to change our lives forever. We can do as best as we can, but we also know that unfortunately there's some people who judge us just because of the color of our skin. I don't care how educated I get. I don't care how well spoken. I don't care. You know what? I'm going to do my best. I'm going to give my 110. I'm going to work hard, but you're not going to get the chances on your job that the other person who's well connected is going to get. And you're not well connected when you grow up poor. You're just not.
It's two different worlds. It's two different worlds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. And we're so blessed. We're so blessed when you don't have that. And it just amazes me how many people in our community don't know how blessed they are. So they just keep going into debt, going into debt, going into debt, you know, and then getting bitter about it. And then what it does is break down the family. Then they break up. Then it ruins the credit of everybody involved. And then now your kids are among the poor because of a breakup. And then don't go on to getting another set of kids with the next person.
oh God.
That's not a break. That's a cycle. That's a cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cycle. Exactly. And the therapy that is needed in order for all parties to get through it. And you know how hard it is to have your income coming out of your house to another person's house? You're going to work every day, but you have to actually pay $600 a month at least for your kids that live somewhere else. That's a lot.
You know what's crazy, JB? Even with this trip I took in Egypt, but all the trips I took before that, it's amazing to me that I go to these places, these hotels, and the people who work there, they can't even afford to stay there.
It's all for you. It's all for tourists. It's all for tourists. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
But they're not going to let them stay. That's so sad. It's like that in Jamaica too. They had the people like putting hangers through the fence. They take you. I just really didn't like that about Jamaica, especially if you stay on a resort. You know, I just don't like. And the resort, like they fence you in, and you got this guard, and then the people, the Jamaicans that don't work there, are like pushing stuff on hangers, like trying to get you to give them money when you walk by.
Yeah, I seen it too. In the Caribbean, I saw it too. Yes.
We are crazy to be going on to those resorts. I had no idea. in the world? So who is the resort feeding? Who works there? I bet the people that work there don't even live right there. Oh my goodness. And then the people that go into debt to go on vacation. I remember this guy dropped me because I wouldn't put a vacation on a credit card. It was like, I'm sick of this woman. Look, and then this lady told me, he said he didn't like you no more because all you think about is money. See, you're gonna get away with that. If somebody says that about me, you know they're gonna get away with that. And there's not a person on the planet that is not gonna believe that all a financial advisor thinks about is money. And look, is she looking at me like that's a valid argument? Like I like him because he dropped you because all you think about is money. Well, girl, you know what? You be happy with his broke ass. That is so sick.
Amen.
I'm not thinking about money. I'm just thinking about not being broke. It's not that important. I'm in love. If I'm in love, I ain't gotta go nowhere, pay nothing. I'm good with you sitting on the sidewalk right here, sipping on not a grape soda no more, but some water. Some water, man. Not even special water because we're so in love. To me, that's what love is. Like, we ain't got to do all that. That's for people like, the Dorseys who've been together 30 years. So for me to get 30 years with somebody like, we're going to be pretty darn old. Then we can worry about going somewhere. But other than that, we're new. It's new. Why in the world you got to go somewhere and you don't have money? And I had a business talking that crap and now out of business. That's so sad. And all I wanted to do was him to stay in business. I was like, oh, no, that's okay. We don't have to do that. Da, da, da. It was like, I'm so sick of you. All I said was, let's put it on the credit card. That is so sad. But we just really need to look into that as you approach spending your life together. Like, is this person have the same financial mentality as you? No, are they willing to walk because you think it's best for the health? Are they gonna walk with you or are they gonna drive past you in your car and say you an idiot? I think that if I was in, a regular relationship, I'm not in any relationship, and I said that, they would say, you're crazy. Why would somebody walk when they can just, and people might see you walking down the street? I look forward to it because, that we really should feel bad about being, sick. We should do whatever we can do. You want to be debt free? Don't get sick. Most people run into debt and credit problems because of a disability. You can always get another job, but if you make a commitment to being healthy, you're going to be able to pay your debts off. That's a good point. I wasn't even in my 10. I was an add-on. Stay healthy. You feel that, Mr. Jenkins? Like, they can't get 30-some years at the post office,
No,
like,
they don't make any money off of it.
Oh, don't make money off being healthy. No. That's what I was telling my daughter. I was like, there's a lot of money made off people being sick.
You got that right.
I think if you really think about it, when they say mental health, that's just an acknowledgement of our mind. That is not a healing process. It should be called like behavioral healing instead of behavioral health. It should be like you don't hear them say obesity store. It's weight loss clinic. It's what people are there to get out of it. Like if we should look at going into debt and living beyond your means as a behavioral health problem, a mental health problem, do you realize how different things would be, right, Lone Wolf? Like it. No? He said he's gonna take his grape soda.
That was funny. I like that. That was funny. I like that.
Look. And if he really love me, he gonna bring me a straw too. He be like, oh, my girl ain't gotta drink out the bottle. He gonna give me a straw. Love. Easy to please. When she really in love, it ain't all of that. It's so true though. It's like when my parents got married, they went to the courthouse and got married. And people act like that. I have so many clients that are under pressure from their children, adult children, with kids that now want to get married, and you expect my clients to pay for it? That's inappropriate. Look, I could start a new thing in Afroeconomics. Parents only have to pay for the wedding if the girl is a virgin. Period. If you know for a fact they have had sex, he should pay for it. He can't wait. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, you got some? Well, then you pay for it. That's sad, but that's true, though. We got a rule. That's a rule in Afroeconomics. You know what I'm saying? And look, and he got to pay her school loans. You take her debt. Parents, he's sending women to school, degrees and everything, and they help that man pay his bills the rest of his life. And then my client has spent his retirement to send her to school. Oh my goodness. That's just not fair. That girl should be working, sending that money back home to my client that's retired. Because he took care of you. I need 18 years of her money goes to her daddy. And then you take her that 18 years, you take care of her. You gotta be like, I don't like that plan. But men would be more careful about who they marry. You know what I'm saying? And girls would be ready to go to work. They'd be like, I gotta send this money home. My mom and my daddy need this. They send me to college. But I mean, think about that though. The amount of wealth that is just, given. And it's gonna, take care of. Like you're gonna that girl that went to school or man is gonna take care of someone. You're going into debt for that. Your son, same thing. He will never take care of you. And the wife will get mad when he's spending too much time or money on his mom. Isn't that something? Don't let me have a son. I'll be like, look, don't you even frown. I gave this boy air. I gave him life. They would not want me to have a son. See, God knows, right? Oh my goodness. I'd be like, no, I don't trust her. They were like, what are you talking about, Mom? There's nothing wrong with her. She was a nun before I met her. Whatever. You know how them priests do. I don't know. But it's like, it is hard. Like we put a lot into our children. Like I met this young man at the gym and I said to myself, I think that he'd be good for my daughter. So I went on like a quest for at least 6 months. I was going to try to hook him up. And like he wouldn't move. And I'm thinking to myself, this boy is going to get my inheritance. I should have the right to choose who my grandchildren come from. Isn't that terrible? Now that's control. But he was like, I know, I'm going to make sure he didn't have to worry about anything. But he kept pushing back and told me he had some girlfriend and blah, blah, blah. And look, and then as soon as I stopped liking him, I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna let it go. No, it don't matter. I don't want you to be my son-in-law now." Then now I think you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, wait a minute. I should have considered that.
Wait a minute, JB. He kept pushing back.
Yeah. To me,
what did he say?
I was like, look, I don't know, but I was like, look, my daughter is not like me. She doesn't look like me. She looks better than me. and I'm telling you that y'all will make a good couple because he's like big and athletic. I'm planning the whole thing out. But I told her, I said, well, the guy that I picked out for you, I don't like him no more. She's like, you don't like him no more? I was like, nope. Get over it. Look. So when I see him, I don't halfway speak no more. He's like, hi. I'm like, get your muscle up. Get it together. We should pick our spouses for our kids. So, Angela, I'm telling you, don't you just let your son marry anybody. Exactly. But if they did, we wouldn't have the debt problem. We wouldn't have the wake up problem. We wouldn't, the breakup problem, we wouldn't. Because it would be, who knows you better than your parents? And they know who you're going to get along with. But my quest for him really was, I wanted a big grandchild. He is a big guy. Great. Isn't that something? But I really did. I was like, I want my grandchildren to be like really big. And he's like big. He's like really big. I was like, oh wow, my grandchildren will look really big. I even told my trainer, I said, you know what? If I get him and Z together, I'm gonna have me some big kids. And then they're gonna be athletic. We're gonna be going to all the games. We're gonna have a good time. So I had it all figured out. He was not cooperating. But it must be kind of weird to a guy though. I don't know. You think so? Like somebody's mom, like this is it.
Yeah, that's a little hard to take.
It is. Like, you would be creeped out?
You like something must be wrong with her.
Really? Yeah, they probably like scared. Look, I know. And he probably now has figured out who it is. And he's like, okay. Because I didn't say like who it was or nothing. I was just like, I think you should meet my daughter. That's all I was saying. No. But I say always like at least be, that she, you say, I'm not that bad. I'm old, but like I'm not that bad. You could think, well, maybe she looked all right in her younger days. So I would take that chance. I can tell if somebody's kids are gonna look all right. I like, oh, I think so. I don't know. I don't know why Mr. Jones thinks that's so funny, but you can tell by parents, like, what the kids look like generally. So there's some ways. I think that we have to be careful with the debt settlement process. Lone Wolf's like, stop it. Exactly. All right, I've given it up already. I'm just like, but they want to get my inheritance. You're gonna have to be a screening process. But seriously, do not throw your pearls among swine. So amen, man.
You're thinking like a rich lady.
Amen. Exactly. I got to control this thing. But that the claim it. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau had a lawsuit against this debt settlement company, Freedom Debt Relief. And the government agency, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, said that the Freedom Debt Relief Company charges customers without settling their debts as they promised. So this Freedom Debt Relief Company, if they still go by the same name, was misleading consumers about their fees and their ability to negotiate directly with all of their creditors. So they had to pay $20 million in restitution to customers, which, the customers probably got $10 a piece. It's amazing how them settlements be huge. The lawyers take half, and then they got to divide it across 5 million customers. It's true. And then 5 million, in addition to that 20 million, 5 million in civil penalties was paid to the government. Now, do you all know what that is? Have you heard of that, those debt settlement companies? Where you can they say, don't pay your bill anymore.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, that's them.
I've definitely heard of that one.
That's called debt settlement, where they say, don't pay. And then when the company gets frustrated enough and you've ruined your credit enough, we'll talk to them about a settlement. So you don't pay your bill to them, but they tell you what to pay to that company. So you don't pay the credit card, but you pay the settlement company a payment. Maybe if it works, it might not hurt your credit as much as their argument is, it might not hurt your credit as much as a bankruptcy. But I don't know. Because a bankruptcy and a settlement both going to stay on your credit for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
A judgment stays on there for like forever. 20 years. Like, that's the worst one. A judgment. So
I remember some years back when I first moved to DC, I got a letter from the Department of Education, and they said I owed them this money. And I wrote them a letter, and when I wrote them the letter about my experience in the trade school that I was in, what they did was they sent me a letter back, but I had a check. Because I said I didn't profit from the money that they told me I had to take. I didn't actually get any of that money. I didn't get that.
Exactly.
They told me that I had to take the loan out for your materials. So in my letter, I said my materials was a nylon book bag and 2 paperback books. That's all I got.
They're like, no, our materials, like the AC/DC wires, cord, and the stuff that they bought for their supplies that you used, that's sad. That's sad. Materials could mean anything, but I'm sure it was for their materials. And did they make you pay it?
No, they didn't make me pay it back. It was only like for $5,000, but I only received $300 out of the $5,000. So when I wrote them the letter, they sent me a check for like $700 something.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And that's all you had to do was write.
To respond. Right. All I had to do was respond. I was like, oh, okay.
like I have this company, a marketing company that went out of business, and they keep billing me $100 every month. So every month, and they're gone out of business. And I'm like, I got to change my whole debit card because it won't stop. And Wells Fargo keeps letting them draft the money. I said, Wells Fargo, these people are out of business for 6 months. But it took me like 3 months to realize they were still drafting. That's the sad part. So I was like, I really want my money back all the way to September or whatever. I don't know. That was even longer. I don't know. But anyway, y'all turn it off. They took another draft today. So I went back to the company and I said, look, y'all know that you are not here. You have not updated your website. Stop taking my money. I don't know, but that's horrible. That is horrible. And $100 too. Why would they keep drafting when they know they got bought out by some other company? And the original company just keeps like taking the funds. And I never switched over to the other. They said, you can talk to them about how much it'll cost to use them. But I didn't talk to them. Obviously, I don't need it. It's sad. So definitely keep an eye out and communicate. Don't just say nothing. Communicate.
Mhm.
Those automatic stuff. Oh my goodness, there's so personal finance is very personal. Well, can't say I don't believe that we should say like this debt is bad, this debt is good. Like we have to realize that debt is debt. But you can have a whole bunch of unnecessary debt like credit cards and furniture stores and things like that will stop you from being able to satisfy or even pay off faster. That is good. That can really benefit you. Like if you don't have the money to buy a home, but you want to do a home purchase. But I'm going to tell you, you will save a lot of money if you go into that purchase with 20% down. So patience and giving yourself time to save is really, really important. We're not encouraged to do that because we look for government programs that say what is the least amount that I can get in, and the government will say, well, we'll give you 2 loans. You'll have a loan with them and you can get a small grant from us, and this will allow you to get the house, and then they charge you extra insurance, a premium on your interest rate. So you're paying thousands too much. I mean hundreds of thousands.
All based on your credit rating.
All based on you didn't wait to save up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you took that grant that they got that money back tenfold. And on the grant, it's telling you what to do. They're telling you what to do. You cannot sell this. You cannot rent this. You cannot this. This one house a client was going to buy and it had a grant on it. They were going to tell him what to do for 10 years. For $10,000. I said $10,000 ain't worth nobody telling you what to do for 10 years. No. And don't think you can do it like that lady in Baltimore, thinking that you can do something. That prosecutor in Baltimore lost her job and everything behind, thinking that you can do stuff and not get caught. And her husband took money out of their retirement account during COVID to purchase, they said for hardship, but they actually used it to purchase loans. So then they're saying she's a felon. This soon, going to go to court. She's been caught up in that, and her husband is on city council because they purchased these houses in Florida with that money.
Is that the Mosley woman? Is Mosley?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her and her husband. And then they argued that how can you say you were going through a hardship when you made more money that year than you did the year before? Just because it was COVID doesn't mean that you were going through a hardship. They were like, your income was up. That's a lawyer. Taking out a loan to go into more debt. We can, paying 3, because then you'll have 3 mortgages, the primary residence and these 2 investment properties. 3 mortgages on a young couple, that's the flex factor. That's the flex factor. We don't need to, we deserve so much more peace than we take advantage of. Lord, peace is everything. To me. Now, for a lot of people, peace does not mean anything to them. For a lot of people, being healthy does not mean anything to them. But I have as a 7th, point to make sure that you have a budget. Make sure that you have a budget. Another point, like that, cut down on just the needless spending of having to have everything that you think that you want, because you already have everything that you need. And there's another almost final point is that there's nothing wrong with wanting to pay down your low interest debt. But what I ask you to do, like low interest debt, I mean like your mortgage, um, and wanting to aggressively do it. But if you don't want to do it, and because you're saying, well, shoot, the interest rate on my mortgage is only 2.5%. Why should I make extra payments on that when I have a credit card payment and balance? And that's the truth. Yeah, you might want to have your house paid off, but you're putting stuff on the credit card because you're doing all these extra payments to pay the house down. That's inappropriate. You're paying down the one that possibly even could be tax deductible, and then you're making the minimum on the high interest rate. So we have to actually meet, like during our meetings, when you say, oh, paying off my debt's important, my first question is, I want to see your credit report, and I want to see, I don't even worry about score. Score on nothing. Score don't mean nothing to me. Our principle in Afroeconomics is credit confidence. Score is for people who want to buy things and go into debt. You want to have credit confidence so that when you're applying for jobs, when you're trying to get your car insurance, because your bad credit will mess up your car insurance. No. So you want to make sure that we're structuring. What's the interest rate on this one? What's the interest rate on that one? What's the interest rate on that one? But a lot of times we'll do is try to pay off the smallest ones. They call that the snowball, or just like getting rid of the smallest one and working your way up to the biggest one. That's only appropriate if the smallest one is the one that has the highest interest rate, in my opinion. We should do it based on interest rate, not size of it. And so and then knowing first to even get this accomplished. That's why the credit report is so important, because sometimes it's just so hard for people to face what they owe. But we have to know what you have out there so that I can develop that pay down strategy or pay off strategy. We can start getting feedback on that. A major part of retirement planning, I believe, is getting the debts out the way. Yes. And then, so personal finance, a big part of it can be about running numbers to see what makes the most sense for your financial goals, right? Because remember, personal finance is personal. That's why we have our personal meetings. So nothing I said is relevant to everybody. I can't say that's good, that's bad, this is for everybody, this and that. To me, that's more of a Susie Orman approach, because she doesn't have personal clients. I am an individual financial advisor, so I get the blessing of working with you, boots on the ground, one-on-one, what's important to you. I don't have to make broad statements. But I can only state, when I make something broad, I'm only stating, like, my opinion is that if peace is a value to you, if peace is what you want, then debt could be coming in between you and peace of mind. But so first of all, first question is, what do you want? What's important to you? How bad do you want it, right? Just like with your health, a lot of people go, oh, I want to get healthy. I want to lose some weight. And then what do? They still do the same thing they always done. There's no more walking, no more nothing. No increase in anything. No cut back on anything. Most people that pay off their debts the easy way, because they consolidate or go take a loan from work and pay them all off, most of them, according to research, go right back into debt again. That's sad. Can y'all think of anything that comes to mind before y'all leave me on what I should have said that I didn't say? We talked about like we really got that. I mean, we really talked about the gut of it is that you have the right to have your own personal goals.
I would say you really touched on pretty much everything, and I would take away from it, for me, pay attention to where your money's going, what you're spending it on, and how you're managing your debt. How you're just like you said, how you're managing your debt. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
And that we don't have to have everything. We don't have to have everything. A lot of it is just created from a lack of discipline, that you feel like you got to go everywhere, you got to do everything, you got to have everything, like a lot of stuff passes me by because of my choices that I make, of the money that I spend on my health. I have to pass up some other stuff. And I go, well, I know I could get such a car, but I would rather go to track meets when I want to, travel to a track meet when I want to, get the hotel when I want to, but it does, and get the training and have coaches and be able to make that investment and buy the equipment. But for someone else, they're like, that is crazy. I don't know why you spend all that money on your house. That is ridiculous. But I know what life is like for people who don't make themselves a priority. I know. That's all I do. And if you don't make your health, your activity, your relaxation, your peace a priority, it will come and hit you right in the face. It will come to you. So we either got to head this thing off and take care of ourselves and keep ourselves in a kind, peaceful place, or just allow all of this to pile up. Don't allow it to pile up. Find a little thing you send money. Yes, that you spend money on daily. Exactly. And cut it out. Exactly.
That's right.
A little thing. It doesn't have to be like that. Oh, exactly. That Reverend Edlo was saying that, what are you spending money on? Be a good guardian over few things and it'll give you many, like that it multiplies. I love the parable of the talents, in Matthew, where it's like, the king like gives, different coins, I say, it's sometimes called talents, but to each person. And are you the person who gets it and then is afraid and terrified and puts it under a rock and then, just is happy with just having that? Or are you the person who is committed to multiplying your blessings, growing what you have, and doing the right thing with what you get? No, we have everything we need. He's already handed it to us. Look at it like that. We got everything we need. So we don't have to go out there and get anything else, because you already have everything that you need. And that's for the overwhelming majority of us. I would say everybody that's listening, they already have everything they need. No, but are we a good guardian over it or not? That's the question. We have good health. Are we taking care of it or not? Because it'll cost you.
I would say it is hard to be a good guardian over that which you don't know you have.
Amen. And that's why you have to, I believe that if you take out time to get your health right, to get your mental health right, even the time to take a walk every day allows you to realize another blessing. I come up with some of my best ideas when I'm out getting the oxygen that I need in my brain. No, deep breathing, taking that time. Get the bad processed food out, and you'll realize how blessed you are because your state of mind, your state of consciousness will clear up. I'm telling you, like all of that processed stuff is like deteriorating our brain and messing up our reasoning. And that's why you see so many people who are so angry out there because they're, just in such a toxic place inside of them. And it is so real. Like, and until we clean out, like we just clean that's toxins out, that nothing's going to change for us. Like Mr. Dorsey was saying, like he was in the hospital 2 days this week, and he said, I got to change what I'm doing. But we got to make that kind of commitment. And not when it's too late, We still here, it's not too late. Oh, somebody went on a full moon walk last night. I was at track practice and I saw that come out. And I was like, is that the sun or the moon? And then I heard, because it was like glowing red like that. Yeah, that's so nice. Mr. Moon. But if I weren't doing that healthy things, I would have never seen that.
Mm-hmm.
I have spent the overwhelming majority of my life in front of a desk looking at a computer monitor. It is only through God's grace and mercy that I'm still alive to encourage you to make a better life for yourself. That's all I thought that I was supposed to do. And then now I realize that a healthier me is a better servant of God. And I do so much more for you. I can do so much more for you with a healthier mind. And that's why that commitment to, like, I'm gonna get rid of anything that's holding me back from a greater relationship with God. And we all should do that. Like, because our greater our relationship with God is, greater our relationship with ourself is. And we don't have to spend any time in our life going around searching for stuff outside of us. Like I remember when I bought my first luxury car, I really believed that it made me feel better because people treated me so much better. Even family treated me better. Because it was like, that was very important to me to show them that I'm successful, And I pray that there's no one else going through that. Having the desire to make sure that they know you're okay. All we have to do is focus on God. That's it. The other day I was thinking and I said, what if I live my whole life and nobody Black ever says, like, wow, she lived her whole life to serve us. And God said, so what? So what? Because I put you here to serve me. It's not about us. It's about God. God is using me to serve you. You know what I'm saying? All I got to do is please him. All I got to do is please like one. All I got to do is please God.
And there it is, JB.
And there it is. Exactly.
Wow.
So, and I can, you know what I'm saying? I can enjoy it. As long as what I'm doing is pleasing to him, I know I'm looking out for Mr. Jones' best interest. I know I'm looking out for Angela's best interest because I'm answering. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't appreciate it. It's about me being obedient to him. Yeah, right? Not you, Mr. Jenkins. I don't have to take care of you. I'm just joking. He's like, what about me? What about me? Not you. Not you. I didn't get the note yet. I'll tell you, and I will exactly follow up and answer your calls when I'm instructed. Y'all, lucky it's not that. No, but it's, life is so good. Unless, if anything is disturbing your peace, cut it out. If your debt is getting on your nerves, let's talk about it and get rid of it. Let's address it. Don't allow the stuff of this world to make you feel overwhelmed. Period. Don't. We're gonna be fine without it. We're gonna be fine. So here's some nice inappropriate music, and we're gonna get on and with our night. Y'all have a good night. Yeah.
JB.
Oh. Wait a second. Look, he said he don't eat ham hock. That's Richmond. Did you hear what he said? Ivory, right here in Richmond, Virginia. It's at the end of the song, but I love it. What were you saying, Mr. Jones?
Is Miss Jones still on? Is still on the line? Is Miss
Yeah.
Jones still?
Oh yeah, she's still mad at you.
Yeah, I'm trying to apologize. I'm trying to apologize.
You should. You should.
Well,
I
damn.
can't believe you went and didn't even say I'm going anywhere.
See how you do me? Because I texted you and you were supposed to tell her that I apologized.
Oh
yeah.
I gotta look that up. I'm sure I said okay. Anyway, who cares?
Miss Jones, I apologize. Miss Jones. I didn't do it on purpose.
Man. I gotta send you the pictures though, Miss Jones. That's how I found out. It was like, look, hey mom, I'm in Egypt. I was like, what? For his birthday and everything. He had a birthday and everything. See, yes. we could have looked out for you, but that's what you get because you just left. Miss Davis is rich. She would have put some money, give you some money and everything. But don't forget, y'all, that our newest member, JJ, here's his Cash App, is growing and prospering in the little baby intensive care. Let's pray for him. Pray for him, most importantly. What were you going to say, Miss Davis?
Oh, had I known, Mr. Jones, you were going to Egypt, I would have sent you some money and had you send me a T-shirt, with
I'm in Egypt.
Yeah, or something, or a cup or something.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you.
I do. I came back with plenty of oils. I don't have that many T-shirts, but I have a lot of oils. I can offer you one of my oils that I have.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. You better watch yourself. You better watch yourself. A lot of what?
Oil. Did you say oil?
No, he said oils. I was like, wait a minute. I'm getting jealous. I'm getting jealous again.
I went to the.
I got a lot of oils.
I went to the.
You just watch your mouth. You watch your mouth.
I went to the oil factory, JB.
My goodness.
Where they make the oils at.
I just don't know what you to say. I don't even like the way you say the word.
Oh my God.
Go.
Okay, fine.
Oil.
I also went to the stone carving factory.
That's good. That's a good one. Stone carving. Yeah, that's good. I feel better about that.
Okay.
Okay. You can give her a rock.
Wait, Mr. Jones,
I get oil. You get a rock. You get a rock.
Were you out there with Tony Brower?
No, I was not. I was solo. I was by myself.
Okay.
Yeah, like wait till you hear about Star's trip. She went. Star's totally. You went on a luxury trip. So Star will say like she went on an educational exploration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally different. He look. He like this. He's like dressed up, looking all. Stars over there somewhere. I know. They were there at the same time. That was really interesting.
It was quite a few people that I knew who was there, but I didn't know I'm serious. At the same time. At the very same time.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Wow.
That is crazy. Wow. That's amazing. Afroeconomics, we get around.
We all over.
That's right. Right? You should have called in. I know. That's a good point.
It's 5 hour difference, JB. I was asleep, but when y'all was up, I was asleep.
That's true. Whatever. You were not. He wasn't. Y'all be good. Have a good night. Good night.
See you Friday.
I love you. I'm so glad you're back. See you Friday.
All right. See you Friday.
All right. All right, Hellcat. See you Friday.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Good night, everybody. Love y'all.